Our guy Pete Prisco, CBS Sports, came out with his top 100 players.
He does this every summer.
In the NFL. Got Patrick Mahomes number 1, Myles Garrett 2, Saquon Barkley number 3.
I'm still scrolling.
How many
He's down
Commanders do you believe are in the top 100?
I'm going to say 3.
There are 3. Can you name the 3 Commanders in the top 100?
Daniels, McLaurin, definitely. I'm not sure where. And then the third, I'm going to put Luvu.
No.
It's not Debo.
No.
Eckler? Is Eckler still in there?
No.
Does he still have the rep?
No. You got to think older.
Wagner?
Bobby Wagner.
Oh, really?
He's got Bobby Wagner at 83.
Okay.
And there's a chance maybe I missed Luvu. I just scanned through this list a couple times. I didn't see Luvu. Because I do think Luvu's a better player right now than Bobby Wagner, but Bobby Wagner still tackling a ton of guys, and he's still a very good player. He's just older. Terry McLaurin comes in at 81.
Wow.
Guys like T. Higgins are ahead of him at wide receiver.
What's his rationale for 81? Does he give?
Look, if you're in the top 81 players, you're still good.
I mean, they're rating all the positions. It's like, I don't even know how to
rated Terry McLaurin ahead of Mike Evans, who came in at 82.
If I would have ranked, if that was my list, I'd probably have all quarterbacks, running backs, receivers.
Yeah, I mean, how do you make
maybe
that
some
list?
edge rushers? I wouldn't have tackles and guards and centers.
Right, so I don't even know how to absorb it.
Yeah.
Well, but it's like picking an MVP, right? An MVP can be any position, tends to be quarterbacks.
Oh, it's never going to be. It's never going to be a tackle. It's never going to be a guard.
He's valuing quarterbacks higher, but if you look at his top 5, I mentioned the top 3. I mean, he has 2 quarterbacks. He's got Patrick Mahomes 1. He has Josh Allen 4. At 5, he's got Justin Jefferson. At 6, he's got Lamar Jackson. 7, he's got Joe Burrow. So he's got 4 quarterbacks in the top 7.
Mm-hmm. I guess, if bottom line is the point, he's only got 3 skins in the top 100.
And he's got Jaden Daniels ranked 33. Do you have a problem with that? 800-636-1067. Guys who he has ranked ahead of him, he's got receiver A.J. Brown, Eagles at 31. He has running back Jahmyr Gibbs, Lions at 32. And then you've got Jaden Daniels.
Well, where does he rank him as far as quarterbacks? Like how many quarterbacks does he have ahead of him? About 6 or 7?
I mentioned the top 4.
Yeah, no problem
are
with
in
that.
the top 7, right?
No problem with that.
So Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Nobody can argue that.
I think he's
Lamar
a 5th-ranked quarterback.
5th-ranked quarterback's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
5th-ranked quarterback is about as high as you could possibly hope for someone to reasonably rank him.
Yeah.
After one season.
It's a weird thing. Like,
because we just had guys the other day didn't even have him in the top 10.
I'm with you, Jason, because like at number 22, he's got Brock Bowers.
Mm-hmm.
Brock Bowers had an incredible rookie season, had 112 catches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Jaden Daniels is more valuable than Brock Bowers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's not a value chart. It's best players chart. I mean, he's got Creed Humphreys, 16, who's a center for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So is he the best center in the league? I mean, he clearly thinks he is, but last year he had him ranked 48 and he jumped 32 spots.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, even if I knew every player in the league up and down, and I studied film every week, I wouldn't know how to put a list like this together, where you rank all the different positions.
I said, I would probably have most of the offensive guys at the top, and then edge rushers and maybe some linebackers.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to do it.
My offensive lineman would be near the bottom, but I understand that you need those guys.
But I mean, I guess it would be important, I guess, if you put some validity into this, is where did they rank? Okay, like the Eagles, what do they have? Like 7 or 8 guys in the top 100? Like who are the teams that have a bunch of guys?
Yeah, I mean, I saw Zach Bond. Barkley's number 3. Zach Bond's on the list. Jalen Hurts is on the list. A.J. Brown's on the list. Jalen Carter's on the list.
Yeah.
The top defensive players, Myles Garrett came in at number 2. Patrick Surtain at number 9, and Micah Parsons at number 10. So those were the 3 guys that all made the top 10 defensively. And then you've got guys like T.J. Watt,
Aiden Hutchinson, Carter, Chris Jones. Yeah, he's got a bunch of edge guys.
It's kind of standard.
I do think. Look, the Commanders need to catch the Eagles. how are you going to catch the Eagles? You have to acquire more top talent because, we're talking about this Eagles team. They might have 10 guys in the top 100 because you've got Barkley, you've got Hurts, you got A.J. Brown. You mentioned they've got Lane Johnson, they've got Mailata, Jalen Carter. That's 6 right there. And I'm just perusing.
Maybe you would hope Tunsil would sneak into the top 100.
Yeah, I think he would have a shot
because they're pretty excited about that addition, and most people consider him at least I think in the top 5 or so.
And Debo in his prime would have been top 100. He's just slipped the last couple of years.
Maybe even Lattimore in his prime might have.
I probably would have had McLaurin higher than 81, just because maybe he's just basing that off overall numbers, but
based on his year last year.
But based on his year last year, I think he would be higher than 81.
Look, the fact is they won. How many games they total win
14.
last year? They won 14 games last
12
year.
12 and then 2 in the playoffs.
And going into the season, you might have had 2 guys in their top 100. You certainly wouldn't have had Jaden. You maybe would have had Terry. Maybe you would have had Bobby. I don't know. Bobby seems to be on everybody's list every year. And I think they've upgraded their talent. So they won 14 games, and I think on most people's list last year, they would have had 2 guys in the top 100. This year, they got 3 with the kind of year that Jaden had. And I actually think talent-wise, we're better this year than we were last year.
Last year, the 3 guys he has on the list this year, last year, none of them were ranked.
He didn't even have Terry.
Well, obviously, Jaden wasn't
but he didn't
in the
even have Terry in there.
Didn't
and
have
Bobby
Terry.
Wagner was not in the top 100? Yeah. So there you go.
So I don't know which players he had.
I think you posed a good question, like which of the guys who's not on the list right now
could you make the argument
that's
for
on the Commanders roster could make it? I think
Tunsil.
You're probably right that Tunsil. Maybe Connerly. Look, they drafted him. We'll see how he develops.
No, that's way too early.
Of course it's early, but what if he's a monster?
What if Luvu has a big year?
Luvu might be on the outside looking in or like right around there.
And I'm going to say Marshawn Lattimore. I think he's going to have a big year.
All right.
I do like Sandstro.
Yeah, but I don't think you put like essentially a slot corner in that high. But maybe. Let's go to
I know
Marcus.
that's where they supposedly want him, but last year he played
all over.
Basically as your number 1 corner.
How about this? Travis Kelce, 96 now on his list. Last year he was 18.
Right. Marcus, what's up, man? You're all with the Junkies. 800-636-1067 if you want to chime in.
What's going on, John? How we feeling this morning, guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So, like the quarterback ranking on the top 100, I agree with it. I had a little bit of a problem with Jaden being 33, but then when I kind of browsed through the list again, it makes sense. Maybe I'd probably put him at 32, maybe above Tyreek Hill. I don't really think he had that great of a year last year to be that high on the top 100, if that makes sense. But after kind of looking at the list, it makes sense. Like if this were like strictly MVP voting, like you guys mentioned, I could see these guys being ahead of him. So I don't think 33 is a bad spot for him. Now that I look at the list again,
and especially when you look at the quarterbacks, no one on the planet can reasonably expect him to be ranked ahead of those 4 guys.
Oh no,
at this
absolutely
point.
Not. Even at number 4, because like I said, personally, I still have him as 5th best quarterback in the league, 1st best quarterback in the NFC. But for him to give us 4th best quarterback, I'll take it.
I think he gave us 5th.
Yeah.
I thought he gave us 4. Sorry.
No. You got the big 4 that right now it's tough to break through with Mahomes, Lamar, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen.
Yeah, so like with that makes a ton of sense. That's how I've had him ranked for the last year. But like I said, 33 was a little bit shaky at first, but once you look at the list, it makes sense. The only thing I would switch out again would be Tyreek Hill, but aside from that,
what about Terry in the 80s?
Now, I didn't get that far down the list, but I can't. It depends. I would have to look at the wide receivers that he has ranked in front of Terry.
He's got Nico Collins ahead of him.
That doesn't seem right.
You can make an argument that Terry should slide up.
Right.
Yeah, but I think with like the wide receiver, and I've heard it a lot. I guess at that point, it's more really about the preference of receiver, like the style that you like and prefer. Like, everybody.
We got to run. Marcus, we got to run. Forgive me, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. No, you're good, buddy. All right, have a good one.
All right, it is open line Thursday. 800-636-1067 is the number. We're the Junkies. Be right back.